There we go. We are live. What is going on, everybody? It is me, Chavez. I am back. You are back. Together, we are back for another day, for another Player Prop Talk live stream. As always, I hope this finds you doing well and in good spirits, as I always say, or as I've been saying. You wake up, you're already off to a pretty good start. Hashtag blessed. 10%, over 10% of the US population doesn't get to wake up. So you're one of the 90%, 90%ers. You're off to a pretty good start. Hope everybody's doing well. Appreciate y'all being here. Hit the like button on your way in. We'll get that out the way. Truly means a ton, helping this channel grow every single day. You all know the routine. What a fun night last night. Yesterday was 4-game slate in the NBA and a lot of bad matchups, to be honest with you. I think the most entertaining game out of the 4 was the Kings and Heat. That game was a very entertaining, and to watch the Heat undermanned come into Sacramento and put it on the Kings. That was kind of cool to watch. We talked about a little bit about that yesterday. If Tyler Hero were to sit, we didn't really know what value would open up. Could be a blowout, could not, but the Heat are that team. Backs against the wall, they always seem to find a way to fight back. 11-point win for the Heat on the road. So Jaquez goes off, Bam goes off, Duncan Robinson, not a big game from him. You had guys like DeLon Wright, Kevin Love, the resurrection of Kevin Love yesterday. So that was a pretty fun game to watch. The Pistons and Knicks, not so much. Nice little overtime thriller, or last second thriller, I guess. Shouldn't have had that much problems with the Pistons. Yeah, just Nets and Grizzlies. What a terrible game that was. We're ready to move on to another day with plenty of games to talk about, with way better matchups to talk about, with way more player props for us to discuss. Per usual, we'll get into our turds of the day. I think turds of the day, we got quite a few on such a short slate. So, what turd you have to throw into the bowl today? Good morning, Carrie. Good morning, Ink. What is going on, Gilbert? Big Icy JR 6-0. Good morning, Jim the Judge. Good morning to you. Salute and blessings, sir. Love it. Carrie and Ink were here early. I saw him in the chat, and I'm like, damn, I gotta be on time today. I'm on time. There's always a delay in when I hit the live button and when everything appears. So there's just this weird delay, but we're here. 10 people on. Appreciate y'all being here on a Tuesday morning. We got Taco Tuesday to talk about. Hopefully these tacos are better than last week's tacos. So we're always striving for the best tacos here. Turds of the day, I would say my turd of the day basically was the Santi Aldama. Although him being on a really bad team, I didn't really see the Memphis Grizzlies getting beat up like that. Josh Hart was probably a bigger disappointment than him, only grabbing 8 rebounds. He did go over his Goblin rebound. We talk about the benefits of playing the Goblins, but he didn't go over his 8.5. He needed 9. He only got 8. So Josh Hart otherwise put together a pretty good game. What about Nick Claxton? What a turd. What a turd Nick Claxton has been so far in the second half of the season, failing to grab a double-double in, I don't know, how many games have we played so far in the second half? 4 or 5 games? Man, he is not the same dude. Something going on there. Not sure why. I need him to start getting those double-doubles, but we talked about taking the under on his PRA, but we did have a little discussion yesterday about taking the over on his RA. Who knows? Maybe he goes over this, had the game not blown out, but it did blow out, and he didn't really get a whole lot done in that game. So Nick Claxton probably sold some people slips. I know he went over his dunks. Probably the safest play you can play for Nick Claxton are dunks and blocks and steals if you get those around 2.5. Ink says turds of the day, Josh Hart. Yep. I'm right with you. I'm right there with you, Ink. 6-0. Asar definitely. Oh my God. I forgot about Asar. Man, he had an okay first half. I think he had a total of 8 PRA. And then in the second half, he finished total game finished with 14 PRA. So he only managed to grab you 6 more in the second half. 7 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 personal fouls, and 4 turnovers for him. It's a rookie, it's a rookie line. Rookies hit these walls. So we saw the same thing last year with Jaden Ivey. In certain games, he looked like the face of the franchise, and other games, he looked like he belonged on the bench. Cade Cunningham goes off yesterday, took the over on his threes. That was about the only thing that worked out for me. He finished the game with 5 threes, I believe. Yeah, 5 for 7. That dude is on fire. 35, 32, 5, and 8 was his stat line. Fantastic game for that guy. And a losing effort. Those games are tough. You put in all that work and you have a great game and you're playing well enough to win. You just don't win. Those are real tough games. Those are the look in the mirror games for a team. You got to go back in the locker room and face yourself. Yeah, Asar Thompson definitely probably gets the unanimous turd of the day. Just the amount of people who played him, I'm sure, had him in their slips and he just didn't come through. What's going on, Ramo? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Gilbert says, I cashed a good slip with 3 goblins, 2 regular, great format. Oh, nice. I was very close to my goblin slips. We would have been talking about something completely different this morning had Aldama knocked down the second 3. But I had 3 goblins in there. I also put Bam Adebayo's first quarter points, and I had Aldama's 3s in there. So the goblins hit. The DiVincenzo goblin rebounds, Josh Hart goblin rebounds. I think it was Cade Cunningham 3s, or maybe Cade Cunningham rebounds as well. Very low lines. All the goblins hit, and then needed 1 more 3 from Aldama. Only played 20 minutes yesterday in that blowout. So it is a pretty good format. If you can find a great split, a 3 for 5, or 3 and 2, or 4 and 2, payouts are better on the 6 pick. Payouts are better on the 5 out of 6 or 4 out of 6 when you play 6 players. But if you can find a nice balance between those, and you're willing to play a little bit more of an entry fee, you can build bankroll that way. I really believe that. I'm going to give it another shot today. Thankfully, Santi Aldama is not on the schedule. All right, turds of the day. We're done. Asar Thompson, Josh Hart, headline those. I'm going to throw Nick Claxton in there because he's been a turd all second half of the season so far, since All-Star break. So moving forward, let's talk some injury news. So yesterday's injury news was very small, very minimal. We didn't get the Tyler Hero news until after the stream, which opened up a ton of value in Miami with guys like Jaime Jaquez, Cody Martin. I don't even think DeLon Wright was on the board. They picked him up off the street literally like days ago. And Kevin Love had himself a good game. Obviously, Bam Adebayo feasts when there's no Jimmy Butler and no Tyler Hero. So the injury news today is a little bit more straightforward. We know that Trae Young is out. Koulibaly's out. Scoot remains out. Dante Exum is doubtful. Probable is Seth Curry. And then you have a nice hearty questionable list there with Boncaro headlining it. McCollum is still questionable. Zion's questionable. Rudy is questionable. Isaac, Denny, Corey Kispert's, Shamit's. All 3 of those dudes are on the Wizards. I think Shamit's on the Wizards now. KJ Martin and Davis Bertans. So there's your injury news for Tuesday, February 27th, 2024. Yeah. And now we get into our plays for Tuesday. So I got the PrizePicks board pulled up over here. Before we get into that, you all know props.cash fuels our research on the live streams. That's my code on the screen. If you want to take it out for a test drive for a month, there's your code. Save 25% off on your first month. If you've never seen props.cash before, then you're in luck, because we use it live, real time, every single day here on the stream. And you get to see it work in live time. After seeing it perform, if you like what you see, you should sign up using my code. Helps everybody out. You win, I win, we all win. All right, get into our plays for today. So we'll talk PrizePicks plays, no doubt. Again, I always throw this out there, but if you all have any other formats you play on, underdog, parlay play, sleeper, we can still research it on props.cash. We'll pull up the odd shopper pick'em table as well. We'll look at multiple pick'em sites. If you're in a state where PrizePicks is being taken away from you, then you definitely need to consider another pick'em site. So definitely let me know if there's another one on in your mind that we can look at here. So let's head over to PrizePicks, I should say. Let's pull up the board. Let's start breaking these plays down. Whatever plays fit you. I like this Jason Tatum points prop against Philly, 25.5. I think that's a good line for him. We can start there. That's one of my plays for today. I was also looking at the rebound, 10.5, and that son of a bitch got bumped up. So I still want to look at it with you all here on the stream. I hate playing the bumps, but if we see enough data to support the over on 11, then maybe the bump isn't that big of a deal. But we'll take a look at that one as well. ATM, good morning. Have I said good morning to you? No, I have not. Good morning to you. Damien, what is going on? Darrell, my guy, what's going on? Good morning. Carrie says, I got one NHL play because the CS2 play NHL Sidney Crosby undershot on goal. CS2 play Gangino, Childish Gangino over first two maps headshots. Nice. Jose, what's going on? Good morning to you. We'll throw that Sid the Kid in there. Oop. Well, maybe I should select the correct sport before searching for Sidney Crosby. Looking for his over 3.5 shots on goal. Man, I missed the Penguins when Lemieux and Yager. I don't know if y'all remember that there was an arcade game. I'm going back. Arcades. People used to get out the house and go to a place where video games, and they play video games in person with other humans and have a bunch of quarters in their pockets, steal your parents' laundry money and shit, and go play video games. There was a hockey game similar to like NBA Jam, that kind of format, and they had 3-player like hockey teams, and I would always take the Pittsburgh Penguins with Lemieux and Yager. Forgot the other player on that team. Shit was fun. It was like NBA Jam, but for NHL. Super fun. We'll talk about Sid the Kid and then CS2. Carrie, did your CS2 play hit yesterday? Rose Compoyo, did he hit yesterday? Whatever his name was. What's this guy with Gangino? Childish Gangino. You like him over first two maps headshots at 9. Look at how diverse this board is, ladies and gentlemen. 2 NBAs, 1 NHL, 1 CS2, and a partridge and a pear tree to kick things off. Love it. What's going on, Steven? Good morning to you, sir. AOD, what's going on, man? Welcome in. There's my habit. I call everybody man. Why do I assume that everybody watching this stream is a gentleman? Good morning, AOD. Let's roll, man. Let's roll. Cutler, good morning to you, sir. Good morning. He did carry. Okay, your CS2 hit. Nice. Carries are NHL and CS2 whisper. Love it. All right. Tyrese Maxey. All right, we're already getting on some player props in the NBA. So we got Maxi, you like Maxi over the 9.5, 6-0. We'll take a look at that one. Let me scroll up and make sure I didn't miss any of the first ones. I've been too busy scrolling through, greeting everybody as they come in. 24 viewers on the live stream. Appreciate y'all being here. Hit that like button on your way in if you don't mind. So let's see. Hey, that Jaden Ivey play hit 15.5 points, correct? He went over that. I want to say he was damn near at that line at halftime. Jaden Ivey finishes with, oh, are you kidding me? He only finished with 14 points. Son of a bitch. What a shit game that was. Osar and Jaden Ivey don't hit. That's Detroit for you. All right, here we go. PJ Washington over PA. That's the first one I see, followed by J Will over 4.5 assists. All right, let's pull those up on the board and let's get cracking on our first round of player props. If you're new to the channel, if you're new to the stream, I appreciate you being here. Give it a second or two before you hit that like button. I want to make sure that this is the right fit for you. But if you feel it's the right fit for you, hit the like button. We're getting ready to do our first round of player props. We use props.cash to break everything down. We're just loading up the PrizePicks board. And we're going to head over here in just a second. We'll break everything down. We'll try to make a case for the over or the under. And then from there, you can choose what you want to do with that prop. 10.5 PA for PJ. Am I missing it? I missed a lot of props too. There you go. And J Will over his assist at 4.5. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. I don't see it. 3.5 assists, Goblin. What am I missing here? 3.5 assists. Is there any other player prop you want to take a look at for J Will? Because his assists are not popping on PrizePicks. I don't even see his RA. They're onto us. They're wise. That's been hitting for us, right? Jeremy, let's try. Oh, do we have Maxi in there? We did not. Let me get Maxi in there. Yeah. Maxi, 9.5. Somebody was talking about playing this in the Discord. Is it the same person? Got bumped up to 10. So that's a good sign that you got it at 9.5. All right. Tatum, Allen, Crosby, Gangino. Well, we can't look at Gangino on props.cash, but we'll leave them on there. So when we do our screenshots, it'll show up in the Discord. PJ Washington and Tyrese Maxey. Let's do it. Let's head over to props.cash and let's start looking at these player props together. I already had Jared Allen pulled up on the board before the stream started. We'll start there with Jared Allen. My one concern was minutes. I needed to just confirm his minutes, and that was the first thing I wanted to look at. But over his last 10 games, this is what Jared Allen has done. 3 out of his last 10. So it's not the best game log here. When we take a look at his numbers against Dallas, he does have one game this season where he put up 23 rebounds. I don't know if Mobley was in or out that game. And he's hooking it right there. He's at 11 now, so he definitely needs 12. He is projected for 11, so he's projected for the push. And then in terms of his odds on other books, every other book has him at 10.5. PrizePicks, this is going to follow suit. I think you'll see a lot of these books bump it. It's getting too much juice to the over. It's gonna have to level out. But his minutes, I was very pleased with his minutes over his last 5 and 10 games. He's well over 30 minutes in both of those categories. So the minutes are not a thing at all. Dallas is allowing. Now, a lot of these stats are without Gafford and PJ Washington. I don't know if those two guys in the lineup add, more resistance to this stat, where over time do we see this improve? As of now, this is what it is. So most of these games played on the season have been without those two guys. I think it's a pretty good matchup for Jared Allen. I like the rebounds at 11. I want to see if there's another prop that projects better, maybe one that hasn't been bumped up. We'll move on from him. Let's take a look at Jason Tatum today against the Philadelphia 76ers. I really like this line from him. I just hate the fact that there's like potential blowout here. So it's okay if the Celtics blow out the 76ers. I feel what really messes up a blowout, or what really messes up a player prop, is if a game blows out and that player that you picked isn't involved in the blowout. If this game is like within 10 going into the half, that's cool. Going into the third quarter, you start to see that separation. And by the fourth quarter, if your player sits, then hopefully they've been involved. What sucks for this prop is Jaylen Brown goes off for 30 points and Jason Tatum is a spectator. And that's what would hurt this line. I would love it much more if Embiid was in this lineup tonight. It'd be way more competitive. So over his last 10 games, Tatum does have 5 games where he's gone over. He's averaging 27 points. And over his last 5 games, you see it kind of decline a little bit over the course of the last season or so against the 76ers. A lot of games played, a lot of playoff games here. So let's not focus on the playoff games. Let's just focus on this little group right here. So one out of these 2 games, or one out of the 2 games, one out of 3 games, he's gone over with 29. Projections only at 25. I don't really care about the projections as much as I do the odds. Odds are pretty unanimous across the board where your juice is coming in. I think these odds are a little flat because maybe the public doesn't know what to do with this and they're scared of a blowout, just like we talked about. But in the event that Philly can keep this close enough, that's going to help Jason Tatum go well over 25 points. All right, so I'm going to roll with Jason Tatum today. Jared Allen, I'm not 100% sold on yet. Since we're in this Philly game, let's take a look at this Tyrese Maxey 9.5 rebounds and assist prop. Has been bumped up to 10. So at 9.5, you're getting pretty positive odds to the over. 2 out of his last 5, 2 out of his last 10. So correction. These are the games against Boston. So yeah, not the best numbers against Boston. However, Embiid's not in this lineup. Let's see what this looks like when Embiid's not in the lineup. Overall, against the other teams in the NBA, he's gone over this in 6 straight games. 100% over his last 5. I don't think this is fluky. I don't think this is one of those where the wheels are going to fall off today. This is what's happening now because it has to happen like this, because there's no other person on this team that's as good of a playmaker as him. The ball's in his hands a lot. He's creating a lot and he's hustling. Obviously, if Embiid's in the lineup, this probably isn't happening. So I don't think it's fluky at all. So I think this is pretty consistent, and I think this is what we should expect from him moving forward, 10 plus. So if you got it at 9.5, that's a pretty good line. No better line than that. 10 is your next best line. He is projected for 10.65 rebounds and assists. And then in terms of the other odds, every single book has this in favor of the over with like drips of juice to the under, but mostly you're seeing that in favor of the over. 125 is the lowest, where Caesars has it at 133. BetMGM has it at minus 130 at 9.5. Now at 10, I don't know what the new line is going to be at 10, but based off these game logs, it kind of doesn't matter because he's getting you 10 or more. Push potential is in play. Anytime you have a flat number, the push potential is there. But unless you feel that he was going to get you exactly 10, you don't mind this because you were probably assuming he'd get you 11 or more. But I think this is a good play. A better play if you got it at 9.5 for Tyrese Maxey. All right. We are moving on to OKC. And no, not OKC, because Jalen Williams' assist line was not up on the board. So let's look at PJ Washington, Dallas versus Cleveland. We were just in that damn game. And I thought PJ was still on the Hornets. It's going to take me a while to get adjusted to all these new faces and new places. All right. So, wait, what is this? That's not correct. Wait. Oh, I pulled up his points and assists. Man, I thought we were looking at a 4-point discrepancy on his rebounds, and I was so confused. All right, we're looking at his points and assists. I believe that's what we were looking at 10.5. Let's bring this down to 10.5, or actually, let's just see what book. No other book has it at 10.5. So if we're getting it at 10.5 on PrizePicks. 3 books have this at heavy juice to the under, or 2 of them do. BetMGM is flats, but at 10.5, you're obviously getting a better line. Since being in Dallas, pretty good game logs here. 3 out of his last 5. He is involved in his offense. So that's a good thing. Even I don't know how many of these games he actually started, but even as a reserve, he is getting you 30 minutes in these games. So he's involved. They want to use him. They didn't get him for him just to back up people. He's there to contribute. So I like this for him. The matchup with Cleveland probably isn't the best matchup on paper. However, his numbers against Cleveland historically have been pretty good. And then his projection today is also at 11.6. So you're getting it at 10.5 on PrizePicks. That's a very good line. Don't wait for it to bump to 11. Play it or stay away from it. But that's a good one at 10.5. All right. 4 NBA plays down. Let's take a look at Sidney Crosby. Did I click on NFL or NHL? Good. Let's take a look at Sidney Crosby's. We're going to look at his shots on goal as Pittsburgh travels to Vancouver. So this was 3.5 shots on goal or was it 3? It's 3.5. So we got 3.5 shots on goal for Sid, the kid. Now, over his last 10 games, he has a 30% hit rate, 40% hit rate over his last 5. However, his numbers historically against the Canucks are pretty strong. 3 out of 5 games. Last game, which was about a month and a half ago, he gave you 5 shots on goal. He is projected for 4.39. So you got a decision to make here. If you want to take a look at his projections and his history against this team, then you are on board with the over. If you are playing the odds and the under based off this number, then that 3.5 may be a little too high for you. But this is kind of a coin flip. Certain players just show up for different teams. We see it all the time in the NBA where players just step up against certain teams, and regardless of the odds, it doesn't matter. They're just going to play well against that team. So Canucks plays pretty well against them. So you let me know in the chat. You liking the over on that Sid the Kid, or are you looking at the under for Sid the Kid. All right, first group of player props down. The only one we didn't take a look at was Childish Gambino because he is not CS2 as of now is not researchable on props.cash. Hopefully that changes and esports becomes a little bit more accessible with these sites. But I'll throw those in the Discord as I always do, and then you can reference those whenever you want. All right, I'm gonna head back over to the chat and see what's going on. What is that? Knuckles Gaming or TKN? I don't want to make this complicated. Knuckles Gaming, what is going on? Welcome. I don't think you've been here before. Appreciate you being here. Evan Mobley points and assists. Fuck PrizePicks. What's going on? What is going on? Good morning to you, Cutler. Divine, what's going on, man? Good morning to you. Mr. DraftKings, DF the God, what is going on? Good morning, everybody. 30 people on the live stream. Appreciate y'all being here. Make sure you hit that like button on your way in, especially if I got to your question. Hit that like button. A like per player prop. Nice 1-to-1 ratio there. All right, we left off on, I believe we talked about, we definitely talked about Maxey here. Jeremy Grant over 3.5 rebounds. So funny to see his line that low because he's a power forward. But you'll see why it's that low. When we take a look at his props, you'll see why it's low. We got Chris Dunn under assist at 3.5. Like the under on that one, JR. 6-0 likes the under on Mike Conley PRA. 20.5. That's a little high. That one feels like Rudy Gobert is going to miss this game. That feels like it's already baked into this line because we've been seeing his line at 17, 18. I know they're playing against the Spurs, but he's not like a top option on this team when they're all healthy. He contributes, but your first option is what? Ant, Cat, then Conley, maybe. So that one feels like there's some injury news baked in there already. We might be able to find some value here. Jim, a turd of the day. Never too late to throw your turd of the day in the chat. If you are new to the stream, appreciate you being here. Turds of the day. Who sold your slip? That's all it is. Simone Fontecchio. 10 points at the half, 12 points at the end of the game. Didn't do a damn thing in the second half. Wemby blocks and steals. Let's check that out. TK Knuckles. Wemby blocks and steals because anytime it's under 5, it's like that Nick Young gif where he like turns around and looks at the camera. Like, yeah, it's very tempting. Anytime it's under 4.5 or anytime it's under 5. What you can do also, we talked about this in the stream. I don't know if it was in the Discord, but you can ladder his blocks, shots, and blocks and steals. You got to play him in different slips. But if you feel he throws a block party tonight and gets you 5 blocks, you take the over on his demon block shots. You take the over on his blocks and steals as well in a different slip, and they're both going to hit. So you can leverage it that way. And then with the demon, also, you get the payout boost. 60 says, I have a tennis 6-man slip waiting on one person. All right. I love that. Let's see. Draymond over threes. Draymond over threes feels like this is this is becoming a dunk prop where we can kind of lock in. We used to be able to lock in dunks, Aaron Gordon at 1.5, Wemby at 2, shit like that. Draymond tends to like get this done in the first quarter. That 3 feels pretty routine for him to take those shots in the first quarter. Let's see. ATM says Josh Green over points. We'll take a look at him. And yeah, DF Jaden. Yeah, that Pistons game. I was pretty sold. I thought Jaden did go over his line, and when we just look at his box score, he did not. He got 14. Yeah, sitting in the fourth quarter. Yeah, I don't know if he pissed off Monty Williams or if he just wasn't playing well. I don't know. I got to look at the box score in detail if there's foul trouble or turnovers, but we're all victim to the coaching rotations at some point. All right, Jeremy Grant over rebounds, Dunn under assists, Conley under PRA, Wemby over blocks and steals, Green over 2 greens. We got the green guys, the green boys. Green over points, 3-pointers made, and Josh Green over 8.5 points. Who can we group together here? Conley and Wemby. We'll start off with Conley and Wemby and then work our way around since all the other plays are isolated. Let's head back to props.cash for round number 2. If I've answered your player prop question, be sure to hit that like button. Hit that like button anyway, but especially if I got to your question already. All right. Gotta hydrate. Let's start with Wemby's blocks. We'll get that one out the way. Not too much analysis going into blocks. I mean, you're either a player that blocks shots or a player that doesn't block shots. I mean, it's that simple. Game logs speak volumes. Game logs can sometimes be fluky, especially if you have a player who goes from 0 to like 4 or 5. Wemby is not that player. He's been very consistent. The whole season, he's averaging 5 steals and blocks. Now, more recently, he's been on another level, averaging 6 blocks and steals, and over his last 5 games, averaging 8 blocks and steals. It's hard to not expect this in every game because it's happening so frequently, but honestly, 5 or 6 is kind of like where we are going to eventually see this fall back down to. But even at 5 or 6, I mean, that's what you need today to get over this line. -119 to the over, -115 to the under. History against the Minnesota Timberwolves. All 3 games are played this season, 5, 2, and 4. So pretty good bounce back game from a low block and steals game here. Hopefully this continues to ascend and we get this back up to 5 today, which is what he needs. Probably would be a better matchup for him without Rudy Gobert in the lineup. One less big in the front court. His projection, I don't know if I mentioned his projection. He's projected for 6 steals and blocks today. He is projected for 4 blocks today. So we talked about the Demon block prop at 4.5. Very risky. Demons are risky. But if you just wanted to ladder it and cash out, because if he hits everything, you could also try to play both of those in different slips. 2 books have this up. Caesars is giving you pretty balanced odds at 119, 115. BetMGM is giving you -135 to the over on this one. So the heavier juice coming in on the over. But both books are, both books seem to like this prop. So yeah, Wemby over blocks and steals until this starts getting bumped up to 5, 5.5, 4.5 is a really good line to attack. All right, Mike Conley, same game. Let's talk about his PRA. So against the Spurs, he eats. It's at 20.5 on PrizePicks though. -125 to the over, -102 over his last 10 games. So this is what I was talking about. Like, he's not that guy. Like, he's not giving you over 20 PRA very often. And now they got him bumped up to 20.5. So now he needs 21. the last time Conley gave you 21 PRA, he's not even in the 10 games. I mean, on the season, he's gone over this line just 33% of the time. Now, against the Spurs, I mean, yeah, that's a different story. He is projected for 18.4 PRA. If Gobert sits today, because he is questionable, let's take him out and let's just see what these games, if we can pull anything from this information. All right, so when Gobert is out, this is what Conley has done. And these are all relevant games because Gobert has been with the Wolves, what, 2 seasons now? 2.5 seasons? So all these games were with Gobert on the team. None of them are playoff games, I don't think. Well, this one is this one a playoff game on the 31st of last April? Doesn't matter. So yeah, if Gobert sits, this one could be in play because his numbers do improve without Gobert there. If Gobert is in, then definitely think this one is juiced up a little too much. So the under would make more sense for Mike Conley. All right. Moving on. Who else are we talking about? Josh Green. Josh Green points. Let's take a look. Matchup today against Cleveland. Damn, Josh Green's been hitting his PRA. Wow. Josh Green points, 8.5. He is projected for 8.66 points. Odds do not like this line, minus 132 to the under. Game logs look good. 80% of the games over his last 10 he's gone over. He's averaging 14. He's averaging 10 over his last 5. Head-to-head with the Cleveland Cavs. One game this year, he gave you 2 points. Sounds about right. Cavs are a nasty team to play. On paper, this matchup is bad, but that's why they play the games on the court. BetMGM has this at 7.5, but the odds are pretty flat. But that is by far the best line. If you can play on BetMGM, this is a line that you like. If you already like the over 8.5, this is your lowest line out there right now. PointsBet, Caesars, DraftKings, FanDuel all have this in favor of the under. So you do have a decision to make. If you're going to side with the projections and the game logs, then you like the over on this one. If you believe this continues, if you are an odds person, then you are siding with the under because the odds are in favor of that happening, as are the odds on 4 additional books. Anybody out for Dallas? Exum's been out for a while, so I don't know. I don't believe that has a whole lot of impact on Josh Green. Even Josh Green is day-to-day, but day-to-day to me, it's not even a status. We're all day-to-day. We wake up day-to-day. All right, so there's really not a whole lot of injury news going on here. But I'm not going to lie. This looks really good at 8.5 points. These game logs look very good for Josh Green. I want to see his minutes. Over his last 10, he's averaging about 30 minutes over his last 10. Only 2 games where only one game where he didn't give you 20. The other game he didn't give you 30, but 27 is pretty strong minutes. But in those 2 games where he didn't give you 28 minutes, he didn't hit his line. In all these other games, it almost feels like he does need upwards of 30 to go over. Didn't get it here, didn't get it. Didn't get the minutes, didn't get the points. All right. Yeah. What do y'all think about Josh Green? Odds are not in favor, but the game logs are pretty good. Minutes look good too. I think if he gets 29, 30 minutes today, I think this is an over. But minutes are fickle. We never know what those rotations will be. All right, let's talk about Draymond Green. We'll look at his 3 points. Chris Dunn was the other one. We got to look at Chris Dunn right after this one. All right, so let's take a look at Draymond Green from one green to the next. All right. So Draymond Green 3-pointers at 0.5. It's gone over this line in 7 straight games. He's averaging 1 3-pointer made in those games. Oh, over his last 10, he's averaging 1. But in the last 7, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, a little over 1. Over his last 5, 1.6. Head-to-head against the Wiz. He didn't play in that last game. Didn't they play already? Hold on. Yeah. Oh, it wasn't. I thought it was more recent than that. The last time they played was in December. So that was during Green's suspension. Okay. Green is projected for 0.9 3-pointers made. It's basically 1 3. 0.9 is right there at 1. So you're getting favorable projections. You're getting somewhat favorable odds. And then you're supporting books here. So PointsBet likes the over. BetMGM likes the under. Caesars likes the over. DraftKings over. And then FanDuel over. But you can see the odds are not like definitive here. It's not like a heavy favorite here. It's just kind of like teetering in the middle on some of these books. Washington is defending threes and not allowing a lot of them to be made per game. Top 10 in 3-pointers made, and little below league average in 3-point percentage. But those are pretty strong numbers for a team that gives up everywhere else. They give up shit everywhere else except behind the arc. I still like this at 0.5. I mean, those lines are really tempting at 0.5. And if you get supporting numbers in the game logs, you could play a worse prop. I would put this in a flex for sure. Maybe put it in a goblin flex with 3, 4 other goblins. Put this in another regular line that you trust and try to cash out your 6 pick goblin like that. All right, let's talk about Chris Dunn. And then we are done with the second round. We're going to take a look at the under on his assist. So Chris Dunn was on a nice run. That's fun. Boom. Rhyme was intentional. 4 straight games of 4 or more. And then he just falls off a cliff. Like, seriously. Bam. 3, 3, 3. Falls off another cliff. Boom. Climbs back up. Bam. Falls back down. Yeah, these are like completely different game logs. First 5 of the 10. Just dish and assist, right? Next 5. Over 5. No head-to-head games versus the Hawks to speak of here. Hawks defense is very giving. Chris Dunn is projected for 3.47 assists, so you would round that down to 3. And then the odds. FanDuel heavily juiced to the under. DraftKings little bit of a more even split there. Caesars is giving you minus 131 to the under, but a little bit more positivity to the over. Another kind of in the middle prop for BetMGM, and then PointsBet. Yeah, I mean the odds are all shifted in favor of the under. If you average these if you average the unders out here, I mean, you would probably be sitting with like minus 125 to the under, minus, 102 to the over, something like that. Yeah, this one's strong. His minutes have been kind of in flux, as a lot of the Utah Jazz backcourt, you're not seeing strong minutes from Sexton every game, or George, Clarkson, like all these dudes kind of cannibalize each other. You really do need one of these guys to be out in order for the other ones to pick up some production. But you can see his minutes are all over the place. He's in the teens, he's in the 20s. He's not getting you 30 though. He's not getting you 30 minutes. So I like this one for the under, especially if if other guys around him are playing well. It could limit his run. But yeah, I definitely see the logic in taking the under for Chris Dunn. All right, Josh Green, Draymond Green, Wemby, Conley, Dunn, Grant. Oh, Grant. How did I forget Jeremy Grant? All right. Let's take a look at Jeremy Grant's rebounds, sitting at 3.5. Let's first take a look at his projection. He is projected for 3.16, which is basically 3. His odds on FanDuel minus 113 to both sides. DraftKings minus 115 to both sides. Caesars has this in favor of the over, slight favorite. BetMGM has this slightly favored to the over, and PointsBet is right there flat, minus 115 to both sides. So Caesars and BetMGM likes this slightly to the over. Let's figure out why. 4 straight games of giving you 2 or less rebounds. Isn't that crazy? We talk about this being a weird number for a power forward. I mean, you see why it's so low. 3.5. It's low number, but he earned it. 2 games against the Miami Heat 2 seasons ago, 1.5 seasons ago. That's not going to help us today. I know Sabonis pulled down 15 rebounds yesterday. Trey Lyles gave you 3. Keegan Murray gave you 5. Larry Nance, Zion. What about centers? I know he's not a center, but yeah, Sabonis pulled down 14, but just trying to get an idea here of what these opposing bigs are doing against Miami. Man. Miami's kind of shutting down the player props, but if you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 of these lines are over 3.5. So just because these dudes aren't hitting their prop, they're hitting Jeremy Grant's prop of 3.5. He's not an aggressive rebounder though, so it does make sense why these numbers are higher for these guys. I would take the under on this one. Yeah, I would take the under on this one. I feel like this is one of those player props that you make that player prop beat you. You take the under on it, and it's like, I'll keep taking the under on it until you go over it. So 3.5 under Jeremy Grant rebounds. If that's scary to you, because it's such a low number, I would stay away. If Bam Adebayo sits or something weird like that today, yeah, take the over on that one. It'll get bumped up at some point. All right, Jeremy Grant rebounds are done. We got Mike Conley, Chris Dunn also there. Got a lot of unders on this one. Oh, hold on. Let me redo that one. So we got a lot of unders here. Grant, Conley, Dunn, under, followed by 3 overs here. Josh Green is the only one that I'm not as convinced on just based off the odds. But again, the game logs look strong. And if he's going to get his necessary 28 plus minutes, I think he goes over this. All right. Round 2 is done. What'd I miss? A lot. 34 viewers on the stream. Appreciate y'all being here. Jalen Green points. All right. Did I look up the wrong green? We'll look up this green. There's a lot of damn greens here. What's up, Jesus? Good morning to you. Jay Work, what is going on? Good morning. Kyle, what's going on, sir? Good morning to you. Damien, what's going on? Says all the good props today. Y'all asking about the risky one. Let's see. Ink says Claude Giroux over 0.5 points. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? I'm always I've been enjoying playing some NHL. Not gonna lie. Watching it is really fun too. Hockey is a very fun sport. It's very similar to basketball, where even if there's no scoring going on, there's activity, there's action, so it keeps you engaged. Hockey is a very underrated sport in terms of spectating. It's slowly earning like my interest and respect for sure. So Claude Giroux is not on PrizePicks 0.5, so that needs. I'm sure that is a underdog play. Inc. Only one way to find out. Pull up underdog on my phone. Yep. So on underdog, Giroux is 0.5 points. He's got a 0.5 goal prop, which is a I don't know, what are they called? Peppers, there's spicy props, whatever shit they do. 0.5 assist is another one of those little boosts. Yeah, but his points are on there. 2.5 shots on goal. Is this worth looking at? Or is shots on goal worth looking at? I'll put him in there. If you say no, then I'll take him out. Let's see. Awful lot of smoke. What is going on? New name here. I don't recall seeing you in the chat before. Appreciate you being here. Welcome. Let's take a look at Giddy's assist. Sitting at 3. Three and a half. We'll take a look at it at 3.5 anyway. D Johnson, what is going on? Good morning. Yo. All right. Let me scroll back up and make sure. Where we left off Josh Green. Jim wants to take a look at Jabari. PRA. Gilbert wants to take a look at Luka. 17.5. What is that? Assist? Rebounds and assists. You see what Cleveland does? The matchup alone just brings the numbers down. Like, we were seeing Luka's rebounds and assists at 19.5, I think. And now they're down to 17.5. I mean, there's a lot of respect being given to this Cleveland team. Oh, Big Icy. If y'all don't know, MLB spring training is in full swing. So getting super low strikeout props. Now, these pitchers are only pitching, what are they, like on a 20 pitch count or something like that, 30 pitch count. They're probably going to go like 2 innings, 3 innings. So these guys need to get these strikeouts done ASAP. So we can take a look at that. I wonder if we can look at MLB spring training on props.cash. We'll give it a shot. But nonetheless, there's an MLB prop for you. All right, Kerry likes the under on Luka RA. We got an over and an under. Divine, I see you, man. Cade under. Cade? No Cade on the line oh. My bad, dog. There you go. My bad. You want to take a look at Cade Cunningham's points and rebounds? What is that? 6? All right. 60 says Darius Garland over 3 is juiced or juicy? Juiced as in take the under, it's juiced, or juicy as in too low? So on PrizePicks, you're only getting the Goblin at 1.5 or his Demon at 2.5. Okay, look, this is his regular line. Darius Garland's normal line is 1.5. PrizePicks made it a Goblin. So not all Goblins are created equal. If you research the stat itself, you'll see that it needs to be in that 1.5. That's his normal area. So this kind of makes you feel like it's at a discount. Like, oh yeah, get the over on that shit. Just take a second or two to research some of these props, because not all of them are on the up and up. Let's see. Nice, Divine. Just reading your message here. Took the week off. Went to go see your bro. Hit a game from Heat. You hit a parlay yesterday from the Heat game. Turned $5 into $1,000. Nice. Congrats, dude. That's what's up. That's what's up. Kyle Burks, Halliburton, there's a turd. Yeah, he had a bad game, dude. Like, he didn't do shit. I mean, Mathurin took it over, right? But I mean, Halliburton, like, he looked bad. He didn't take very many shots either. Carrie said, forgot to put turd of the day. Jaren Jackson and Andre Nembhard. Jaren Jackson, yeah. The whole damn Grizzlies team was a damn turd. All right. Got 6 on the board right now. Let's we got one hockey prop. Is this hockey prop worth looking at? Because we were going to look at his points on underdog. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave him up there. And then when we head over to props.cash, let's look at his points, because you can still play it on underdog. So let's do that. Let's look at his shots on goal, and then let's look at his points. So shots on goal at 2.5, you're getting -115 to the under, -105 to the over. He's averaging 2.8 over his last 10. He's averaging 2.2 over his last 5 games against the Nashville. What are they? The Nashville Predators. One game this year against them, 4 shots on goal. So that one looks okay. His projection is 2.62 shots on goal. Now his points are really projected to go over 0.5, and he's projected for 1. Wow. So on underdog, this is on underdog, 0.5 points. So if you're not familiar with hockey like myself, but I'm learning, a point can be scored on a goal made or an assist. And there are 2 people that assist with the goal. There's like the hockey assist, which is like the setup man, and then the person who assists. So like, I don't know. Pajemski brings the ball up the court. He kicks it out to Draymond. Draymond kicks it to Steph, and he shoots. Pajemski and Green will get an assist for that. That's like hockey assist. So that's a point, though. So -160 to the over. This is over his last 5 games with against Nashville. Over his last 10, he's gotten you 1 point in every game except 2. So 80% hit rate and an 80% hit rate over his last 5. This is a really good line. You just got to figure out what other player prop you want to pair that with on Underdog. Well, figure out what other 2 plays you want to play on Underdog. So play your 3 mans on Underdog, uninsured, and you get a 6x. Why not do the 3x? Or why not do 3-man for a higher payout? This is a good place to start, though. Man, that's nice. Appreciate that. Appreciate you throwing that in the chat. That's a good one. You don't have to know hockey to play hockey props, okay? You don't have to fucking play it in high school to play the damn player props. So just know that this is a pretty good line. You know, consider putting it in a slip. All right. So yeah, definitely his points over shots on goal. So if you have the choice to out of those 2, play his points. All right, so let's take a look at Luka. We're getting requests for the over and under. So let's see if we can make a case for his rebounds and assists. Now his rebounds and assists are at 17.5. You are getting juice to the under on this one, -104 to the over. Over his last 5 games, we've seen a down, up, down trend here. Averaging 18 in the last 5, averaging 19 over his last 10. His history against the Cavs does have 1 game this year, went for 13 rebounds and assists. We just talked about his projection sitting at 16.8. You can round it up to 17. Matchup on paper against Cleveland, scary. Take a look at the alternate lines here. Points bet -140 to the under. BetMGM -135 to the under. Caesars -133. Slight juice, but more juice to the under. 130 on DraftKings and 122. So FanDuel's giving you the more like balanced odds, but 4 books are all in favor of the under with a minimum under of 130. So if you are in favor of the under, you like what you just saw. If you're in favor of the over, you got a decision to make. There is no such thing as a lock. There's no such thing as like guarantee, but we do come across plays sometimes that are like that don't require like overthinking. So like you're either on board with the over, under. There's really not a whole lot of scratching your head on this one. But man, those are some heavy numbers to the over for Luka. Let's see. Let me show you Garland's threes real quick. Let's see where his line is today. Oh, so his Demons at 2.5, -184 to the under. Why would you play that? Why would you play a risky ass play with no upside in terms of the odds? Like there are way better Demons you can probably find. So yeah, I guess the 1.5 is his Goblin. I guess that's a good line for him. I don't know. I feel like you can play better 3-pointer prop. I would side with Draymond's threes over this one. I mean, the fact that they're making you take a risk on the Demon or take a pay cut on the Goblin, like, yeah. It's like, do you want to get punched in the face or do you want to get punched in the throat? Like, which one do you want to do? It's like they're both sucky. All right. Let's move on. Who was on the list? Jabari Smith. Oh, we'll look up Jalen Green's points too. I know I missed that. If I missed it earlier by looking up Josh Green, well, I gave you an extra one with Josh Green. But let's look up Jalen Green's points. I know that was in the chat. Somebody wrote that in there. I figure we could take a look at this as we look at Jabari Smith. Now, Jalen Green's points showing on props.cash at 15.5. You're getting kind of flat odds here, a little juice to the under. His head-to-head matchup with OKC, these matchups have not treated him well. He's gone under in every single game. Well, 4 out of his last 5 games. But definitely this season under the Ime regime, 0 for 2. Last 10 games, 0 for 4, but 3 out of his last 10. Last 5 look bad. Probably not a hot take, but I do think in the offseason, I don't know what numbers have to look like. I don't really know what's preventing this to have already happened, but I think Jalen Green gets moved out of Houston. I don't think he vibes well with Ime, and I don't think he's a good fit for what the Rockets are trying to do moving forward. That starting lineup is much stronger without him in it, and I don't know if he's the kind of player that would want to come off the bench, being the number 2 pick and all. So I don't think he's back next season. Let's see here. 14.83 points is what his projection is. If you're looking to take the under on his points, you got a lot of things going for you here. The odds are really high on BetMGM. I mean, 16.5, we're everywhere. You see it at 15.5. Now, if it's at 16.5 on PrizePicks, because I didn't see it on PrizePicks, we didn't look for it. I would take the under on that one. But at 15.5, you're getting like Caesars has this at over with 131. DraftKings has it over. FanDuel has it flat. PointsBet. So you're getting some favorable odds to the over here. I worry about his minutes sometimes in that rotation. Ime is not, he's very quick to just sit people, you know that. He'll sit his starters in the 4th quarter. If the bench is running hot, he'll play the bench. I honestly don't play a lot of Jalen Green. I wish he would do better because I got a shit ton of his rookie cards that I got graded when he got drafted, and they're just fucking wasting away. But yeah, I'm not sure what to do with this one, to be honest with you. OKC seems to have his number. Let's take a look at Jabari Smith. So we're going to look at Jabari Smith's PRA. This is at 25.5. Is this round 3 of player props? It is. Man, we are moving. Back-to-back games of 41 PRA against Phoenix and Oklahoma City. Wow. He is 1 for 2 this season. 1-1, 1 for 2 in games played. He hooked it. He hooked this line. Now, I'm sure his PRA against them on the 6th of December was not 25.5. I'm pretty sure it was like 23.5, maybe 24.5. So at some point, this was green. But now as the line begins to move up, as he begins to perform, throwing up 40 burgers, this will start to impact his hit rate. Last 5 look good. 29 is like, that's a little bit more believable than, can you see him like out of the rest of the year? How many games do you think he gives you? 41 PRA or 29? I think a lot of the games will kind of be in that 29 range, but that's still over 25.5. Props.cash hates the Rockets sometimes, where you don't see a lot of projections for Sengun, sometimes Dylan Brooks. I don't know why. I don't know what they did to Props.cash. So let's look at the odds here. So BetMGM has it at -110 to the over, 105 to the under. Caesars, DraftKings both have this at 25.5, with a little more juice coming into the under here. So if you feel this trend continues, the 30+ PRA, this is a good spot. It's just playing the same team again. You know, no Tari Eason. Tari Eason's been out for a few games. Games played without Tari Eason, I mean, this is probably going to be the same with and without. He's averaging 24 in the last 10 games played without Eason. Yeah, 24. So nothing changes there. This one's kind of like I don't know, man. I feel like it's in no man's land. This prop right here. Is there any other prop? We can't even look at his damn projections. Points at 13.5. Rebounds at 106 minus 129.5 rebounds. 17 against the Thunder. Holy shit. Attacking the Thunder on the boards and in points doesn't seem like a bad place to start. PR. PA. PA looks tempting. PA looks tempting. He needs 16. 14 to 15 will come from points. And then in terms of his assists, if Jabari Smith can get you 2 assists today, I think 14 points is definitely in play for him. That would give you the over on his 15.5 points and assists. That to me feels like the best prop out of these. BetMGM likes that over, Caesars likes that over, and DraftKings likes that over. I think points and assists look good for him. I would side with the points and assists over PRA. And then PRA will be number 2. All right, enough about Jabari Smith. So we looked at Claude Gareau, we looked at Jabari, we looked at Luka. Let's look at Giddey, and then we'll look at Cade, and then we'll look at that MLB prop. So Giddey, 3 assists, 3.5 assists. That is what is on over on PrizePicks. I just spit all over my screen. Hope you guys didn't see that. 3.5 assists. So over his last, let's look at his games against the Rockets. That's really strong. Every single game played against the Rockets dating back to 2022, Giddey has gone over with a minimum of 5 assists. This one here is the most recent game. This is also a game where Giddey scored 2 points, I think. Something really weird like that. No point? No, he scored 2 points, right? That's 2. He had 2 points. Anyway, he didn't score very many points. Head-to-head looks good. His last 10 games look good. And also his last 5, pretty strong at 60% hit rate. He is projected for, you can round that up to 4 assists today. BetMGM hates this prop, minus 135 to the under. Caesars also giving you heavy juice to the under. DraftKings likes this slightly more. FanDuel really likes this at minus 125. He needs 4 assists today. Again, he plays the Rockets really well. If you take a shot on this one, it's in a flex. His minutes are like, well, this is kind of good too, right? Because it's showing you that Giddey doesn't need 30 minutes to do this. So he can get this done in 23 minutes. I'm sure he can get this done in like 20 minutes. 3.5 assists. I actually like this one. I know the odds across the board are not unanimous, but I like this one at 3.5. If you found it at 3, if you can play it at 3, that's way better. Definitely way better. Let's take a look at Cade Cunningham, Detroit, Chicago. Ooh, this should be a fast-paced up and down game. So we're looking at Cade Cunningham's PR, right? 26.5. Yep. So Cade Cunningham is coming off a monster game, monster streak, 3 straight games of 33 or more PR. How long does this continue? Are there any trends that we can see, like a repeat? Any like reoccurring trends? So 3 straight, right? Look, 5 under, 3 straight. He dips, he comes back up, dips. So over the course of the season, he's really not capable of keeping these streaks going very long. Like, these look like 3-game streaks. 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3. Not one time this season has he given you 4, 5, 6 games of like this high level production. So if you want to play this trend and you believe that this game against Chicago, slow matchup, tough matchup, that this starts to fall back down a little bit, then this is the game to attack. He can have still have a really good game. He can get you 26, 25 PR and still have a good game. You just don't need him to get you 27. So I see the logic in this one. His threes are still popping. Minus 164. That shit is either a goblin or it's not on the board. But if you had any interest in his threes, because he can definitely give you 2 threes and not go over PR. That's all that shit's possible. Numbers against Chicago this season. Let's look at his PR. 1 for 2. And then his projection. So his projection is showing you 28.27. So that is roughly 2 over his line today. Competing books. Okay, so DraftKings likes the under on 27.5. So if DraftKings likes the under at 27.5, I wonder where it is at 26.5. It'll probably fall like 115. So only 2 books have this higher. If you like the under at 26.5 and you have availability to these books, play it on DraftKings and play it at Caesars for a higher line if you like the under at 26.5. If you don't have access, BetMGM also. If you don't have access to sports books and you're going to play the under at 26.5, then these are the 2 lines you're looking at. FanDuel minus 122 to the under, and PointsBet has it at kind of a coin flip. So again, if you believe that his 3-game trend continues where he's not giving you more than 3 games of this high level shit, then it ends tonight based off what we're looking at for the season. What goes up must come down. If you believe it continues, then this might be a little too low. You know, I would take the under on it. All right. Cade Cunningham is done. Moving into son of a bitch. We don't have MLB. Yeah, so looks like MLB is not up yet. I don't know if MLB will be available for spring training. So unfortunately, we can't take a look at that one. But nonetheless, I trust your judgment. If you feel Bobby Miller gets over the strikeouts, I trust that. A lot of pitchers do go over their 2 strikeout props in spring training. It's not a tough number to go on. Also, a lot of these teams are kind of watered down. You're not getting like your opening day starting 9 out there, starting 8. You got a lot of call-ups. You got a lot of rookies in there. You know, they're just trying to see what they got. Spring training is a very casual warm-up type of thing, like shoot around almost. So you could have a pitcher who's facing a very watered down lineup. 2 strikeouts is an easy over. So we like the over on. I don't mind the over on Guerrero's 2.5 shots on goal. Love the over on his points on underdog. I do like the over on Giddy's assist, despite what the odds say. They're not terrible odds, but The game logs, the history against Houston is strong. We looked at Jabari Smith's PRA. I like his points and assists more. Luka, I should have screenshotted it for the under, actually. Against the Cavs, that one was really scary to look at. When you see minus 130, minus 140 to the under on every single book, that's a little scary. Bobby Miller over his strikeouts, and then Cade under his points and rebounds. So there you go. That is round 3 of player props that we just rolled through on the stream. A lot of player props we talked about today. Kerry Young says under Cade's PRA. Yeah, everybody was on Cade's under yesterday. Everybody. So now today's the day. Today's the day. 35 of you still on the live stream. Appreciate y'all being here. Hit that like button if you have not already done so. Let me make sure I didn't miss. You been here? That's my first time seeing you in the chat. It's my foggy recollection. I feel like this is the first time I've seen this name. If not, disregard. I appreciate you being here. Jalen, what's up? I didn't see this one, man. Jared Allen under 20.5 points and assist. Looking at his rebounds earlier, it got bumped up. Jared Allen dunks. There we go. Looked up Jalen Green's points. Jim says, I just used the Claude prop with NBA picks. Think I got an easy payout. Just posted it. Nice. Kerry Young over 2.5 shots on goal for Kevin. Shots on goal for Kevin Fiala. D Twisted. Money on Sengun was so good on FanDuel, had to take it at plus odds. Nice. Yeah, if you guys don't have access to other to books, then you only see like the player prop lines. Those are not the only lines out there. There are a lot of lines out there that are way more profitable. It's just a matter of if you live in a state that has access to that stuff. Ruben, what's up, man? Good morning. Morning taco yet? I don't know. Have they dropped it? I'm assuming it's going to be an NBA. It may not. It might be an MLB. All right. What did I miss here? Jaylen Brown threes. What's his threes at? 1.5. I always feel like that's so low, and then there are games where he doesn't hit it, and I'm like, how did he not make 2 threes today? He takes like 9 shots a game. D, what's your opinion on Garland? Honestly, I don't like it because the odds were heavily in favor, like minus 140, minus 184 to the under. I think if you're gonna play it, then you already know it's a risk. But what I dislike more about his threes today is that PrizePicks is not giving you an actual like original line. They're either making you take a risk or they're making you take the smaller payout. And I don't like that. I don't like that about his threes. I mean, there are games in his game log where he's over 3, or there are games in his game log where he's at 3, so he's going over 2.5. But what that feels like to me is that they took his original line and they made it a little riskier based off his current games, which is like another way to juice up a prop, basically. It's like, just let that shit be a normal play. Because with a normal play, you can choose to take an under and over, but with the demon, you have to take the over. So that's what makes it a little riskier. If I can spell. Damn, that was like way off. Ramo. All right. Let's run through a few more player props. Oh, Victor's blocks are at 3 on underdog. You might have a nice little 2-pick right there with Guerrero 0.5 points and Victor Wembanyama blocks. That might be a really nice 2-pick or a good start to your 3-man. If you are wondering why you play 3-mans on underdog, it's because the payout is more. They give you a 6x on 3 picks. It has to be uninsured, so like a power play. But that's why you choose the high upside plays. You try to make it as little risk as possible. PrizePicks does not give you 6x. Very few parlay sites give you an extra boost on those. So find yourself 3 strong plays and throw them in a 3-pick and maximize your profit that way. So many player props. I'm going to miss a lot of these player props, everybody. I'm going to miss a lot of these player props. If I don't get to your player prop today, I always say, hit me up in the Discord and let me know. And we can break them down there. So we kicked off the stream talking about Jared Allen's rebounds, and I wasn't sure about them because they got bumped up to 11. And I just wasn't seeing enough that I liked to take it, because now he needs 12. At 10.5, I didn't mind it at all. But now we're going to look at his points and assists, and we're going to look at making a case for the under, kicking things off with his odds in favor of the under. Back-to-back games of giving you 24 or more. Philly, no interior presence. Washington, no interior presence. Bagley is not a top-level defender. So 2 cake-ass matchups, he goes over. He did what you thought he would do. Tougher matchups with these 2 teams, different results, right? Another matchup against Philly, no Embiid, cake-ass matchup. Let's look at his projection. He is projected for 23.25 today, so that's 3 over his line. Minus 130 on PointsBet, minus 125 on BetMGM, minus 127 on Caesars, minus 125 on DraftKings. If ever you have a dilemma where your odds don't match the projections, I say side in favor of the odds, because the odds are created across the industry. Those are more solid, whereas projections can be skewed depending on who's creating the projections. The odds are what they are. So if you got 5 books saying the odds are in favor of the under, that should weigh more than a player projection. Now, if they're all on the same page, then you feel extra good about your pick. But I definitely see the logic in this one. Games against the Dallas Mavericks, 1 game this year, he did go out for 30. So one thing that's hard for me to do is to not look at the last game and duplicate it. He did this last game, then he's going to do that same thing in this game. That's not how sports always work. So it's been a struggle trying to separate the past and the future, the past and the present. But like, it's easy to look at this and go, shit, he's going to go over again. That's not how it works every game. All right. Jaylen Brown threes. He's projected for 1.99 3-pointers made, so that's 2. Odds are definitely in favor of the over on this one. Matchups against Philly. Oh fuck, these are all games against Philly. Okay, where's the regular season? I guess here. Definitely these two. I don't know if this is regular season or if this is last season. Last 10 games, 3 out of 4 games, averaging, giving you 3 in 3 of those games. Over his last 5. Very strong numbers here. Odds 125 to the over, 125 to the over on DraftKings. FanDuel has it at minus 128 to the over with no juice at all to the under. And then Caesars and BetMGM have this kind of like in the middle. You have more books siding with the over than the under. And then these two, even though they're kind of like flat odds, it's up to you, you know. It's kind of a wash. It's not over, it's not under, but that one looks good too. He's attempting 6 3-pointers over his last no, correction. He's attempting 4. He's only attempting 4 3-pointers over his last 10, but over his last 5, look at the difference. He's averaging 6. So if he gives you 6 3-pointers today, he needs to make 2. That's a 30% hit rate on the season. On the season, Jaylen Brown is a 32% 3-point shooter. So that's what you want. You want better, but I mean, that's the minimum what you want. Nick Richards, Charlotte versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Forgot they were on the schedule today. We haven't talked about Giannis or Dame or anybody today. Nick Jonas. Where the hell is he? Is he not on this list? We'll refresh real quick. There you go. 20.5 PRA. Minus 120 to the under, minus 110 to the over. 3 straight games, 4 out of his last 5 games. He's gone over, averaging 24, 22 in his last 10, 70 and 80% hit rates right there. Matchups against the Milwaukee Bucks. 2 games to look at this season, 27 in his last game and 3 in that first game. So you're getting like completely opposite results here. Looking at his projection, he is projected for 26 PRA against the Bucks. Much different Bucks team, right? We're seeing a bit of a different mindset, mentality last few games. I don't know if it's Doc Rivers or Giannis just, you know, took it into his own hands and started holding people. Something happened. You're seeing just a little bit more chemistry on that team, and it, you know, much different Bucks team, but this is recent. So even with the newly found energy, he still managed to grab 27 PRA. Projection is there over the over. Now his odds, all 3 books that we see here are in favor of the under, but not by much. So you're still getting some juice to the over, a little more to the under. I definitely see the logic in taking the under on this one, especially if he gets into foul trouble, if he's trying to like defend Giannis, or if he's defending Brook Lopez and Brook Lopez is pulling him out to the, you know, outside the paint. might limit his rebounding upside, put back upside, and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely see where you're coming from on that one. Over the last 10 games or 10 centers, Bamba doesn't count. He doesn't get enough playing time to qualify, honestly. Gobert goes over. Reed does not, but Trey Jemison goes over. Bam goes over. Jokic. Nick Richards, there you go. So, I don't know. 20.5 might be a little low, honestly. 20.5 might be a little low for him if he doesn't get into foul trouble. I might have said something differently had these games been reversed. Like if he went off in that first game and then this last game he gives you 3, it might align a little bit more, but this is recent. I might look at the over on that one, especially if you're going to get those minutes from him. Needs to stay out of foul trouble. My God, how far down do I have to scroll? Not turning there. 2 fouls over his last 10 games. One game he got into some foul trouble. The other 3 fouls for a center is not a lot. That is not a lot, unless they're all picked up in the first quarter or something that'll completely throw off the rhythm. But if these fouls are picked up throughout the course of the game, 3 personal fouls, that's pretty average. That's very routine for a big. If he's staying out of foul trouble and he's going to give you upwards of 30 minutes, I like the over on this one. This to me feels like a little too low of a number. All right, we had one NHL play, Kevin Fiala, over shots on goal. Who does he play for? Florida? No. Kings? All right, shots on goal. Kevin Fiala, 6-5 over his last 2 games, head-to-head games with the Calgary Flames. 1 game this year, only gave you 2 shots on goal. Last 10, he's averaging 3. Last 5, he's averaging 3.8. He's projected for 2.77 shots on goal. When you take a look at the odds, you're getting -145 to the over on BetMGM, 135 on DraftKings, 115 on FanDuel, and 146 on Caesars. And this one is off. Oh, this one is still on PrizePicks at 2.5 shots on goal, -146. We are getting some really strong lines here for the overs in the NHL. Kevin Fiala on PrizePicks, Claude Giroux on Underdog. This is a good one. Yes, he cannot go over. Any player prop you play can very well sell, but don't live in fear. Take the over on these props where like all the data is there to take the over on it. Don't second guess it. Don't what if that shit. It's a good one. I like it. All right. So we got under on Jared Allen, over on Fiala, over on Jaylen Brown. I'm getting these damn names mixed up. And then I like the over on Nick Richards. I'm not going to lie. Just like what I saw there. I might be wrong. 20.5 is a little low. All right. I think we're Jared Allen over 1.5 dunks. Let's get some players of the day in here and let's cut this. Let's get this stream. What am I trying to say here? Let's get some plays of the day in here and let's put a bow on this stream. There you go. Constructing sentences that's hard. All right. I see one play of the day. Cutler, Drew Holiday, over 0.5 free throws made DF, I like Mitchell's points today. We didn't look at Donovan Mitchell today. I like his PRA also. I like his PRA as well as his points. Carey chipped in with so many plays today. Which one do you like? Which one is your favorite, Carey, for your play of the day? Jim the Judge likes Ayo over 3-pointers made. What is that? Is it still at 1.5? Knuckles, you like John Collins as your play of the day? I like John Collins too. His PR, I think his PR got bumped, but I think it was at 23.5. That looked really good, but then his PRA is at 25.5 last time I checked. $1.5 for Ayo. Nice. All right. Yeah, Ayo Dosunmu's been. We talk about the impact that Zach LaVine has on the team when he's not in the lineup. You know. Real quick though, I know a lot of states are being impacted by PrizePicks, like leaving. So you need another player prop. You need something to like pick up the slack for PrizePicks. Let's link up. Let's link up. I talk about all the affiliates that I have. I talk about all of the other sites you can play on, but here are just a few. Here are just a few player props or books if you have access to books, if you're in a state. Links to BetMGM, links to DraftKings, links to FanDuel, links to Bet365. I'm going to provide this link to this page in the description of today's stream. If you want to sign up for any of these books, as you can see, when we break down these player props, when we look at these odds, the odds on these other books are way stronger than they are on PrizePicks. So if you have access to these books and you haven't signed up yet, do so. Sign up using my links. Get something out of it. BetMGM is still offering Bet5, get $150 in bonus bets. That's a lot of free. That's a lot of free money they're giving you right there. And then you always have access to my PrizePicks, my underdogs. If PrizePicks is leaving, you don't need it. But underdog, jock market as well. So just throwing those links out there again. I'll provide this over in the stream description. So if you need additional links to support your player prop habit, we'll link up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for today's stream. Another one in the books. If you are just joining the stream, or if you've only been here for a handful of minutes and you're like, what the fuck? I just got here. Where's everybody going? We start at 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. So we go for a good 2 hours Monday through Friday. I put in 10 hours of stream time per week. Monday through Friday, we talk player props. We went over almost 4 full rounds of player props that consisted over 30 or so player props, turds of the day, plays of the day, injury news, some shameless plugs in there for my referral links. We covered a lot in today's video. I see one more play of the day. Carey put in Giannis, or as I like to call him, Ugo, over his PR. And you do like PJ over his PA. All right. No taco yet. So we're waiting for tacos. So listen, if you're looking for some possible pairings for your tacos, we went over a shit ton of players in this stream. I take screenshots of everything. I throw them in the Discord. You can reference those whenever you want. The cool thing about that is that you don't have to guess. You don't have to ask yourself, are these good plays? We researched everything on this stream. We made a case for every single one of those player props. So if it's on the over or under, just know that the research was done and you should feel confident about rolling with any one of those player props. So all that will be provided for you in just a few moments. So appreciate you again stopping by, checking this video out. Sub up to the channel, means a ton. Also consider liking this stream, sharing this channel with someone you know. It goes a long way, really, really does. Sharing is caring, but sharing is also growth for this channel. As I always say, best of luck to you all. I hope all of your player props respect the damn coin. And until tomorrow's PrizePicks live stream, our player prop talk, 9 a.m. tomorrow. Make sure those notifications are set so you don't miss it. Chavez is out.